Hey, welcome back to another Manga Talks video and also a channel update video. So if you have been a regular watcher of my channel, you might have noticed that it's been quite a while since I've posted a video, probably more than a month now. And that's because if you follow me on Instagram, I just pretty much said that I've kind of changed the channel schedule now to be whenever I want to upload. So it'll be a lot more irregular going forward just because I wanted to give myself kind of like a break to get reinvigorated in reading because right now I think with a lot of stuff going on, I don't have time to read or I kind of feel tired and not into reading too much. So that does kind of affect my drive to like make videos as well. So to prevent that and to prevent burnout, I think going forward, uploading videos whenever I want would be the best answer for that. And it's not like the channel's going into like hiatus or anything. It will just be randomly videos will just pop up. And I'm still on Instagram, so I still post stories there too. Maybe I'll try to do more posts in general there of stuff I'm reading. But yeah, that's just a little bit of an update for the channel going forward. And as of recording, today is one day past the 2nd year anniversary for this channel, which is absolutely insane. I'm very surprised that I've been able to upload this consistently for so long. It was pretty much a video a week or 2 videos a week. So insane. But either way, what I want to talk about today was just pretty much an update on what I was reading, just a couple of things here and there. A lot of exciting stuff coming up. I do have Scamp coming up tomorrow, which is the Sydney Comics Art Marketplace, which last year was so fun. So I'm extremely excited for it. I will probably make a haul video for that, so keep a lookout. Again, it'll be irregular, but yeah, so today I think the first thing that I really wanted to talk about was this book here. So if you notice, this is the newest book from Ichiba Daisuke. This is, I'm just doing this because there's a reflection. This is 19999. So this only released like probably a month ago. Picked it up immediately straight from Ichiba Daisuke himself. I will put the link to his website in the description. Pretty easy to do so. It's like a separate international like shipping section of his website. You pretty much just have to email him. He'll get back to you. But I've been so excited because it's been so long since an Ichiba release. I think the last one was Deba, which was quite a while ago. But at the time of recording, actually, LDC put out like a post on their Instagram showcasing another set of works to be printed by them. I have no idea whether it's a poster set or a book. I really, really hope it's a book because the last book that they had was, I think, must have been something like Butter Medicine, like the orange one, the really big orange book. But yeah, I think specifically by LDC, that's probably been the last one, and that one is a tough one to get. It was also one of my first books from him too. So this and that post have got me really, really excited, and were kind of the reason that I'm recording this video right now, because it kind of just like reinvigorated me and got me really excited again and made me want to talk about books again. So yeah, so just going through this book, I remember for the first time flicking through this, I got a really nostalgic feeling of discovering Ichiba for the first time because the book format reminded me a lot of his earlier self-published stuff that I had bought from him, like the very first time that I discovered him, and it's kind of in the same format where it's black and white. And this one, I think actually, this specific piece here, Sean over at Japan Book Hunter has this original art up for sale. So check out his website. I think that's the one that I am remembering correctly, hopefully. But yeah, it was just such a nostalgic feeling going through all this. And a lot of, not a lot of them, but some of these pieces I have seen before from Ichiba's Instagram page and Twitter. He'd be posting the color versions of these on his website. So please sorry, not on his website, his socials. So please check it out. But yeah, very, very excited for more Ichiba releases. Highly recommend you to pick this up. And there was this one page towards the end that I wanted to show off. A lot of good double page spreads too throughout the book. Okay, yeah, I was trying to find it, but there was actually a couple of double page spreads that I really liked. So this one, really love the severed head just floating from the guy there. Reminds me a lot of recently, I only just finished the first season of The Summer Hikaru Died. No spoilers, but you know, it's a supernatural series. Mine reminds me of one of the ghosts there. There's another double page spread where, oh, I love this one. I would love to see what this was in color. I'm not sure if I've seen the specific one beforehand, if he's posted it anywhere, but it's so sick. And one of my favorites is this one here. I specifically love, for some reason, these like threads connecting to these guys from this weird cloud thing. Of course, the usual gore and beauty and madness and chaos. But so excited that Ichiba has finally released another book after so long, and anticipating the new release by LDC. So the post that it was put under had the description of MAD, because MAD is the exhibition that LDC is putting out right now. That includes a couple of Japanese artists, but a lot of other different artists as well. But yeah, really excited to see what sort of format this new Ichiba release by LDC will be, but I will be keeping an eye on it. So yeah, very excited, very happy that we finally have another Ichiba release. Oh, it's been a while. I feel like it's been quite a while. I don't exactly remember when Deba was released. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but so happy to finally be back on Ichiba. So the next thing I want to talk about will be this book here. Or this series of books. For a couple of reasons. Number one, it is Taiyo Matsumoto. Of course, one of the masters and one of my favorite manga ever. And right now I'm in the middle of volume 2. But another reason I want to talk about this was because this is the first set of English manga outside of alt manga. So stuff like the Smudge imprints, stuff like Drawn and Quarterly, and you know, the Tsuge Yoshiharu and all that type of stuff. Those are the only English manga that I usually buy. But this is the first set of English manga from Viz that I bought for years. It's been years since I bought like an English manga that is kind of not in the alt manga scene, even though I guess Taiyo Matsumoto, you can kind of argue back and forth about that. But I absolutely love this series. It is such an emotional, but also very like subtle, realistic, mixed in with the magical realism, of course. Yeah, for me, it's just really such an emotional story. It's not common to get these types of story following like mangaka, because if you don't know, the premise of Tokyo these days is following a manga editor, a manga editor who had retired from their job, but is wanting to come back to establish a new manga magazine of his, kind of like a passion project. And there are subtle nods and subtle mentions of alt manga like Garo. There's scenes of like seeing Umezu's manga here and there. It's not directly overt, it's like not like throughout the whole thing, but it is such a moving piece, because kind of what I'm up to right now is like each chapter follows a different mangaka that the editor encounters, you know, asking them to be a part of his magazine and experiencing all the stories that like from all these mangaka and their lives, their relationship with manga, whether they're completely burnt out, whether they are reviving that passion, all that sort of stuff is so magical to read. And for me, I read this all in silence. Sometimes when I'm reading manga, I read with music on, but this manga I feel like is it needs all of your attention because it's such a captivating series. And 3 volumes, I mean, I think that's a kind of like a perfect length for it, even though I'm not fully through it yet. but I feel like dragging this story out would be too much of a kind of like a stain on the perfection that it already is. So I'm glad that it's only a 3-volume series. I'm not going to flick through this one actually because I don't want to be spoiled on myself. And I love the covers. I mean, Viz have done a pretty good job at this. I believe the Japanese editions are also the same, like the exact same covers. But yeah, these are hardcover copies, and I mean, I'm glad that I picked this up in English because, you know, I want to be able to read it easily. The reason why I picked up the first one in English was because a friend of mine was just ordering something from Amazon. They just needed a little bit more to get the free shipping, so I was like, oh, I mean, Amazon doesn't really have Japanese stuff, Amazon Australia at least, so I was like, okay, I'm planning to read Tokyo these days, might as well pick up the first volume, see how it goes. I love Taiyo Matsumoto, so why not? The previous works I've read from Matsumoto were Blue Spring, his debut work. I've read Number 5, I've read Cats of the Louvre, and maybe some other stuff, but really hard to figure out which ones are my favorite because, I mean, for me personally, Blue Spring was more of like an insight into the development of Matsumoto more than me liking for the actual stories. But Number 5, Cats of the Louvre, and this one so far have been all amazing, like masterpieces. So cannot make up my mind, but I just wanted to mention this because I really recommend if you want something that is different, a little bit more quiet, but very emotional and very hard-hitting and memorable about a niche kind of premise as well. So yeah, Matsumoto, I feel like everyone's a fan of Matsumoto, but yeah, that is one of my current reads right now that I am really enjoying. And then here are a couple of other stuff. So because Scamp is coming up soon, I have been trying to get through my comics. So all these Western comics that I bought last time at Scamp. So the one I'm reading right now is Soft by Jane Mai. This is put out by PL2. I can't really say what the premise is because I'm only like 30 pages through it, but this is what it looks like. And here is, I think there should be, okay, here's the premise so far. So it seems like it is something to do with vampires? I mean, Carmilla, yeah. Retelling of Carmilla, one of the earliest pieces of vampire fiction. But this caught my eye because I knew of PL2 before I bought this, but love the cover of it. It's very ominous. And then when you flick inside, it's quite a wholesome sort of art style. So I'm looking forward to where this will lead in the journey of the story. So current read right now. Another current read actually is this one. This is called The Laughing Devil's Apocalypse by Yoshikazu Ebisu. So I have been reading a little bit more of Ebisu. Recently finished Ebisu Fan Club, which is a collection of his Edo works. That is literally impossible to show off because every single story from that is erotic and I can't show anything. Personally, it wasn't my favorite out of all of his collections. I do prefer more of the balance of when he does, you know, the erotic but also the comedic and dark and gory, that sort of stuff. And this is just a collection of a bunch of his one-shots separated by years, so 1980s to 1990s. So a lot of these works I actually have seen before because they were from Garo or they were collected in I Wish I Was Stupid or Pits of Hell. So it's like a work that I'm reading just to catch up on other one-shots that I haven't seen yet. But so far, have been enjoying it. You know, Ebisu, of course, is always fun and wild and wacky. It does include Pits of Hell too, and a couple of like, actually no, yeah, the only color story will be the first one, and it's kind of just a manga retelling of Ebisu's like coming of age, pretty much his childhood, figuring out what he wants to do. Yeah, Ebisu, really enjoying it. Fan club, maybe I'll show off in another video just to, you know, put Ebisu more on the channel, but it's pretty impossible to show anything off in that specific book at least. And then the last book that I wanted to talk about today, because today's kind of a short video. I wasn't intending it for it to be long, but Tender was a read I had recently. This is by Beth Hetland, and I love this read. This is focusing on Carol Ann, who is kind of what I would describe as a victim of societal expectations, a victim of social media. It's about her wanting to have the perfect life. And as you can see here from the synopsis, a perfect wedding, a perfect husband, a perfect family, but things get in the way. Her ideals are so strong that it was kind of doomed to fail from the get-go. But the main reason why I loved this book, and you can kind of tell from the cover as well, is that it does have a central motif of body horror, which, that was the main thing that attracted me to this book. Here's an example of the art style of it. It's a very detailed, love it. But when the moments of body horror hit, they hit. And I guess I will show an example. I'll show a page of it because it does happen a couple times throughout the book. But if you don't want to see, if you want to read it for yourself, then spoiler alert. So I'm going to show it now. Here is an example of that. This honestly is one of the less, because it is at the start of the story, it is less on the less grotesque and less visceral than the other pages, but I really love how everything does come together full circle with that body horror motif towards the end of the book. So highly recommend this one if you love stories that focus on kind of that domestic world and how flawed it is, how it's a be careful what you wish for type of story. But yeah, so that was Tender. Great book. I'm not sure if Beth Hetland has put out anything else. I don't know too much about them, but it's a great quality book too, hardcover. But yeah, so those were my recent reads and currently reading as of I'll say like a month so far. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you for watching, those who are new, those who are old. It's already been 2 years since this channel has been put up, which is crazy, but you can still expect videos from me. But again, will just be a lot more irregular this time. Sometimes I might put out a burst of videos if I really feel inspired and passionate. Sometimes there'll be a bit of a gap in between, but I will still be on Instagram. So you can still contact me through there if you have any questions and still comment, all that type of stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.